Okay, haven't done a video in over a year here. Haven't had much interesting to show, but I made a replication, my own version of a replication of Laser Saber's Easy Spin motor. You can find it here on YouTube. Mine's a little variation. It has 24 coils. His uses 12 coils. My coils are a little thinner. Just different things. I just thought I'd try with what I had. I didn't have a 3D printer to print his motor up, and I like to build stuff. Anyway, here we have, this is our reed switch. We got a little rod here with a biasing magnet, because I have north and south magnets on the rotor, which I'll show in a minute here. And the biasing magnet helps it only trigger onto the north or south, whichever way you have it. And I have my capacitor. His motor has all his coils in series, and then that's in series with the capacitor and then a reed switch. And in one of his versions he put a diode in series also, but I'm just going with the simple version here. These bobbins, I got door panel clips that put your door panels on your car to snap them into the door, and then I wound those up out. You can see the holes there that I drilled to bring the wires out. There's 3,300 turns each. Each one's right around 650 ohms. It's just over 15,000 ohms, all of them in series, and they come out here to the board. In series is a 1,000 microfarad cap, and then we got our reed switch. Then we got our meter here. It's reading the cap. Okay, and I soldered my wires here. I used these pin headers that you can buy from Radio Shack. You solder them onto a board and gives you pin out options. And you can see the serrations in the body of it where you can break them and choose how many you want. So I used those here to solder the wires on, and I use these little shunt jumpers that you find in on a PC board or whatever, or I mean a computer PC board, for choosing different functions within the computer. To put them all in series, just something easy to do. And then these wires, they also have, these are female and male, so it helps to connect everything together. And then we have the rotor here. It's made out of PVC board, 1/2 inch. These are 5/16 magnets by 1/8. Every other one's north, every other one's south. This winding that's going around here is for a future thing that I'm going to try here. It has nothing to do with this really. My bearings, I cleaned out the grease and pounded them up with some graphite, and it spins pretty good. I'm going to set this in here. Got a little nylon washer, keep dirt out. It spins nice. Pretty good. Okay. Let's bring the reed switch up here. And get it right between these two coils. I got a lot of things. I have a stator thing that I'm building to hold them all still. This is just temporary because I wanted to see it running. But if we spin this up by hand, the capacitor starts charging. I'm just spinning it like this. The capacitor starts charging. The reed's firing, so it's acting like a motor, but when you got it in acceleration, when you're accelerating it faster than what the voltage could actually make the motor go, it acts like a generator. And then if you let it go, then it starts using voltage, dropping in voltage, let's say. But it'll just sit there and spin and spin and spin. I could stop it, bring it, stop it, just bring it to the point where the reed triggers, and it keeps going. Now it's going to go until this voltage gets around. This thing is dying out on me right around 2 volts. I think Laser Sabers runs much lower voltage than that, but I'm going to spin it up real good here. Watch the voltage climb up. This is the finger motor function. Now there is drag when the capacitor is empty and I go to spin this up. If I spin it up really fast and it's just up to like 1 or 2 volts so far, if I let it go, it'll slow down to a point where it only wants to run at that voltage. See, it's already slowed down some. So the faster I accelerate it, the higher the voltage goes. Now this is only a 25 volt cap, so I'm going to stop there. But then this will probably run for like 20 minutes on this cap. I wrote on the thread a result that I had that from 35 volts down to I think it was 25 volts. The voltage was, let me see, it was like 22 minutes and it was down to like 15 volts from 35. But that, I made a mistake. That was a 2200 microfarad cap at 35 volts. So I'm going with this 1000 just to demonstrate. See, what it was up to 27 when just a minute ago when I stopped spinning it, and it's dropping. But this is running off a 1000 microfarad cap, and I can put my finger on it, slow it down, and stop it. You know, it's not real crazy strong or anything. I mean, you could put a little drag on it, like if I took this wire and drag, you know, it's nothing crazy. But one of the other interesting things I found, now this will go for a little while. You can imagine we've lost 7 volts. If I go to stop it and just hold it in a position where, I'm just going to try to hold it in a position where the reed is loading up the coil, you can see it's dropping drastically because there's no off times with the reed switch. It's just constantly on. Then I spin it up and it'll come down to an equilibrium and just start using the power from the capacitor from here. It's all pretty interesting. I'm going to take this cap out and I'm going to put this is a 22 microfarad 100 volt poly cap. Now let's see, it's 1 volt. I'm going to spin this up and just spin it by hand here, and it jumps up really quick. You know, I'm just giving it some quick touches there, but then once it starts slowing down, you know, it starts draining the cap pretty quick. Now if I stop it, I could drain that cap by closing the reed switch pretty quick with 15,000 ohms. So it's not a big capacitor. So let's speed it up, get it up to around 100 volts, and then I'll just show if I can get it to stop and then go. And that's running off of a 22 microfarad capacitor, and she jumped down to 40 volts already. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like Laser Saber said, you don't usually see this kind of stuff where you're getting this much motive force out of a tiny capacitance. We're down to 22 volts. So this thing kills off, and my reed switch isn't completely adjusted right here. This is like the first day I'm messing with it. I messed with it a little bit last night, and here we are. But just playing with this while I was setting up my camera, I found something really interesting. I don't know if Laser Saber's motor would do it, because I have north and south magnets, and he's just using one pole, and he doesn't need a bias magnet and everything, but it might work. If I take it and spin it the other way, the voltage goes negative. I can get it up to 100 volts. I didn't even touch the reed switch or anything. I'll stop it and let it go. And there it is. You know, now it goes in either direction. So I'm really tired right now, so if this doesn't make any sense, then maybe I'll do another video tomorrow, but I'm going to try to get this out there. Everybody wants to see it.